good blessed April the 21st, 2022. It's Wednesday. It's about 7:55 a.m. Today makes 398 days since my son Brian Lamont Johns was found dead, hung, lynched in Carbondale, Illinois on Friday, March the 19th, 2021 in the Gaslights apartments in the 400 block of Oakland Street. What I want to talk about today is not only his death, but I want to talk about an organization that I used to give highly respect for, which is the NAACP. You can see that I am a active member, and I want you to see what it says on the side of this card, and we'll let you see if it really stands up to what it says. It's not just a movement. It's not just a membership, it's a movement, the NAACP. Now, NAACP, when it was first formed, the meaning was, when I said was, past tense, the meaning was the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Today, to me, the NAACP, with my experience in the last 26 years of seeking their help with civil rights actions against racism and discrimination, I see the NAACP need to be changed. The N need to be taken away and put an I up there. Individual Association for the Advancement, and the C need to be changed from colored people to certain people. Now, if you go back to April the 11th, 2022, on a Monday in Carbondale, Illinois, Jackson County, at the SIUC, the Southern Illinois University campus, at the ballroom, at the student center, the national chapter president, Derrick Johnson, was invited to speak at Carbondale, at the student center, at the ballroom. It was open to the public. After he spoke, questions was allowed to be asked, and he ain't supposed to answer. Now, I want y'all to know, on May the 11th, 2021, I filed a complaint with the Carbondale, Illinois NAACP chapter. I was told to get the application or the complaint form from Nancy Maxwell, who is supposed to be the CEO or the chairperson of the criminal department for the NAACP in Carbondale, Illinois, Jackson County. Linda Flowers is supposed to be the president of the NAACP in Carbondale, Illinois, Jackson County. Their church, I believe, is called Rock Hill Missionary Baptist Church in Carbondale, Illinois, Jackson County. I believe that's what the headquarters is for the NAACP in Carbondale, Illinois. Telling y'all this here to show you a connection. the former president of the NAACP, Lockwood or Logwood or whatever his name is, whatever type of wood it is. He's the pastor of the Rock Hill Missionary Baptist Church, the former NAACP president of the Carbondale, Illinois NAACP chapter. Now, one of their members there, by the last name of Harvey, a female, which is an NAACP member, also a city councilman, one of two black women or black period that's on the Carbondale, Illinois city council. Telling you all this here for a reason. When Derek Johnson, the national president of the NAACP, was invited to come speak at Southeast Illinois University campus, I'm going to tell you two of the sponsors. One of them was the NAACP in Carbondale, Illinois, Linda Flowers, the president. One of the other sponsors is the city of Carbondale, which one of Linda Flowers and their NAACP members and church members is on City Hall, City Council. Now, you could see why Derek Johnson, the national chapter president of the NAACP, the way he answered my question when I told him about me filing a complaint with the NAACP against the city of Carbondale, Illinois Police Department. You can see why it's been going on 1 year in the NAACP president nor their CEO or chairperson of the criminal department has answered my complaint or has even looked into my complaint against the racism and unprofessional and unjust investigation, death investigation of my son. You can see why they ain't spoke up. But if you look at Linda Flowers, the lady Harvey, that's a city council person, Nancy Maxwell, and a lot of the other black women in there, you can see all the hundreds of thousands of dollars that their organizations are getting from the city of Carbondale, Illinois, claiming to be some type of organizations that's helping people in the community. But yet you haven't seen any of them speak up against the racism going on in Carbondale, Illinois. You know, neither one have you seen spoke up about why my son's death investigation wasn't put in the newspaper to ask for people in the community to try to help with this death investigation. Yet they had a death investigation of a dog during the same time last year of my son's death investigation. Not only did they have a death investigation of this white person's dog being killed, but they also had a reward out for him. Newspapers put it in the news. The news media had it on the news. But let me tell y'all this here. One thing about the NAACP that I done found out, that's why I took the N off and put the I on, because some chapters is standing up for their people. But you can believe Derek Johnson is not one of those. You see, Derek Johnson worked hand in hand trying to cover up my son's death investigation with Linda Flowers, Nancy Maxwell Harvey, and the rest of those sellout blacks coming from Washington, D.C., Baltimore, all the way to Carbondale. And all of them is connected with SIU. You see, because some of them is former students. Look how much money that the city has diverted to SIU. I wonder how much money did the city and the rest of those people give Derek Johnson. You look back in, I believe, April of 2001, with the Illinois State Conference president who came down to investigate, I believe, when some black students from SIU was having a party in the Carbondale, Illinois Police Department, maced them. This state, Illinois State Conference president of the NAACP then back in 2001 in April, not only told the then chairperson for the criminal department not to pursue any complaints against the Carbondale Police Department, but look what happened to him later on. He was locked up for stealing money, just like Benjamin Chavis was when he was the president, the national president of the NAACP chapters. The national president. But now, I wonder why they trying to hide my son's death. Number one, it's a bunch of white people that's been involved. You see, the Illinois State Police had all the evidence of what happened to my son, or everything that was surrounded by my son, like the white female that claims she found his wallet 2 days after my son's death. Y'all seen how he was hanging. She found it. She claims she found it wrapped up real nice on some stairs about 5 blocks away. Another white female claims she found his t-shirt and they was on top of each other right by her door real neatly now. Now you remember he got a cut on his left hand, on the back of his left hand, that goes all the way down to the tendons. Where is all that blood? I believe it might have been in that white female's house who the police went and retrieved his t-shirts. She mysteriously found his 2 t-shirts in front of her door on the 3rd floor around the corner on the Sycamore side in the 400 block. My son's body found in the 400 block of North Oakland Street. She also on the 2nd floor in the hallway, she found a mask, so happened to be his. So happened that she went down to the 1st floor and seen that a fire extinguisher box was broken out and the fire extinguisher was missing. Guess what? That fire extinguisher happened to be on the 3rd floor where my son was hanging at. She also went outside to the left of the building on the Sycamore side, and guess what she found? An axe that my son allegedly had early that morning, about 24 minutes after 12 midnight on April the 19th. But it didn't have no duct tape on it. When it was found, it had duct tape on it. I wonder did they take that duct tape off to try to get any type of fingerprints. I wonder did they get fingerprints off the axe, the mask, the t-shirts, the fire extinguisher. I wonder did they take the blood, samples of the blood that was on his one gym shoe. The spot of blood that was on the front of his pants. The one spot of blood that was on the back of his pants. I wonder did they get any of that? I wonder did they, because it's not in the police report or the death investigation when I told them about the white female claim she found his wallet. It's nothing about that in there. You would find nothing in the death investigation that the deputy coroner, which we can't find him nowhere, Sam Bryant, can't find him nowhere. Last name is spelled just like my son's first name, Bryan. Supposed to be the deputy coroner. But the coroner himself, they showed nothing that they did. They can't even give you an estimated time of death. The first police and the paramedics was on the scene at 1:27 p.m. And on the death certificate, they said his time of death was 1:35 p.m. How did they come to the conclusion that it was 1:35 p.m.? So they saying that he died 8 minutes after the paramedics was there. But let me show you how that's a lie, because the pictures show that his body had already been in the form of rigor mortis. They also show that the paramedics, when they came, they said they touched his body was cold. They said that they put electro pads on there and he didn't have no sign of life. This was at 12:27 now. So if he didn't have no sign of life at 12:27, how did they come to conclusion? Now, regular, incompetent coroners, they would give you an estimated time of death. The same with a normal pathologist. They take a temperature. The temperature in Carbondale, Illinois on March the 19th, 2021 was 47 degrees. In that hallway, it probably was the same or different. Now, the coroner himself told me my son's body temperature was 76 degrees. Now, how did he get his temperature? Normally, they take the temperature by rectal. The deputy coroner never took my son's pants down, off, or his underwear off. Because when I went to view his body at the merited funeral home, which the deputy coroner, the allegedly deputy coroner, is the funeral director there at a white funeral home. My son's body had been there all 5 days, from the 19th to the 24th when I had went there. Now, I asked him, did he check my son's whole body? And he said he checked from his head to his waist, but he didn't check my son's side, where you could see when the pathologist took the autopsy, you could see that my son had been dragged, his bruises on his side. If he would have checked, but he probably already checked, my son had bags of drugs in his sock. You see, the deputy coroner or the police or the crime scene investigation, the CSI lady, if they'd have did their job, they would have knew that. But now the deputy coroner told me he had to pry my son's right hand open because he had something in it. He had some paper bills in it with blood on it. Now, the CSI lady, if she was trained, that money would have went into an evidence bag, but they put it in the body bag. What is that telling you? They trying to cover up something. In the NAACP president, national president, the president for the state conference of Illinois, they was all at that meeting on April the 11th, 2021 at the Southern Illinois University campus. But you think they give a damn about Brian Lamont Johns? I do, but I want y'all to see that the NAACP don't stand for a damn thing for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. It's an independent association for the advancement of certain colored people. Not people like my son Brian because he was homeless. Not people like my son Brian because he was black. Not people like my son Brian because he was on drugs. Not people like my son Brian because he had been to prison. But also, I got a record to show from the so-called death investigation. My son called shortly before his death, and it's on a 911 call that they can't take back, asking the 911 dispatcher, is he still on the police payroll? That confirmed what other people said, that the police department, Carbondale, Illinois Police Department, was using my son to set up drug dealers. And if that's the case, when he didn't have no shirts on, somebody was looking for wires. Y'all think about it. Y'all help me expose these no good NAACP, this no good NAACP organization. Let's see how much money Derek Johnson got to come down to Carbondale, Illinois. Let's see why Derek don't want to go against the Carbondale Police Department. The Black Panthers went through with it against them in I believe 1970, and they was all students. Police tried to kill them down there. But people like Derek, them other so-called Muslims in Carbondale, I know some of them. One of the imams used to work in Shawnee and Vienna, a sellout. All he chasing is government money, like he did when I was in Vienna and Shawnee, Illinois penitentiary. He know who he is. That's why he can't hardly get around now medically. God gonna deal with all of y'all. Peace be still.